welcome to Xbox On, where today me and Bex will be helping you boost your gamer score with 10 amazing Xbox Game Pass games that are perfect for achievement hunting. Ask any member of the Finch family and they'll tell you about how cursed their clan is. Or, they would if all but one of them hadn't already met an untimely demise, which does sort of lend credence to the whole family curse theory, As Edith, the only remaining Finch, you return home to reminisce on each of your lost loved ones. Every family member gets their own chapter for you to explore, learning about their life before you feel the full impact of its sudden end. As well as being a tender exploration of loss, grief, and family, What Remains of Edith Finch is also great for callously mining Gamerscore because you can play through the whole thing in just a few hours and then jump back into specific chapters to sweep up any achievements you might have missed. Because what is grief if not Gamerscore persevering?
As an Xbox Series X and S launch title, Call of the Sea is a great way to experience the graphical power of the next-gen systems. Set on a mysterious island in the 1930s, it's full of charming period details and exotic sights, all rendered in its gorgeous vintage art style. And thanks to its 4K resolution, 60 FPS frame rate, and DirectX ray tracing, this is one desert island you'll be happy to get marooned on. But while you're there, you might as well pick up some achievements. The game's story takes around 8 hours to complete and sees Nora venturing after her missing husband, unearthing some even deeper mysteries along the way. Simply making it to the end will net you half of the game's achievements, while you'll likely stumble into most of the rest as you go. So even if you never make it off the island, at least you'll have that precious gamer score to keep you company. Plus, like Edith, you can revisit old chapters in this one to mop up what you've missed. You're welcome, Chivo Hunters.
It might be littered with undead monsters and baseball bat swinging psychos, but the world of The Walking Dead is one that we just cannot get enough of. From the comic books to the hit TV show and its various spin-offs, there's not a nook or cranny of this festering dystopia which we're not hungry to explore. Fortunately, Telltale's graphic adventures are here to satiate that appetite. With 4 different seasons to dig into, Game Pass subscribers can experience Lee Everett's attempts to reunite a young girl with her family or fill in some of the gaps in Michonne's zombie-slicing tale. The original creator, Robert Kirkman, oversaw the games as well to make sure they were capturing the tone and style of the original comics. So they are a great way to experience his grisly tales, and as a bonus, you'll unlock the full gamer score just by playing through to the end.
Fractured Minds was the winner of the BAFTA Young Game Designers Award when it released, created by then 17-year-old Emily Mitchell. Her aim was for each section to be designed to suck you into the headspace of a different mental health condition. So it's certainly not the breeziest game on this list, but that's kind of the point. It represents conditions like anxiety and paranoia in a way that might make them easier to understand and empathize with, for those who have never experienced them before. One of several recent games to explore mental illness in a hugely compelling way, Fractured Minds is an excellent way to catch a glimpse of what the world looks like for other people and how universal some of the most isolating experiences actually are. And as a nice little pick-me-up at the end, you can sweep up its gamer score by playing through the whole thing in less than an hour.
Like What Remains of Edith Finch, Tell Me Why is about digging back into a family's dark history to try and come to terms with it. After Tyler confesses to murdering his mother in self-defense, he and his sister Allison are raised separately. But when they are reunited as adults, they return to their family home to work through its haunted past. Playing as both siblings, 2 different versions of events will slowly be revealed to you, ultimately forcing you to pick which one to believe. Tell Me Why is focused more on telling a compelling story that covers vital issues like gender identity and child abuse than it is really on testing your gamer skills, so you'll be able to scoop up the 500G for each of its 3 chapters without facing any real challenges. But what you find in each of them is sure to linger with you for a long time after, and will likely prove more rewarding too.
Charley, do you ever have one of those days where you get up in the morning and immediately realise you would have been better off just staying in bed? Well, Piku can relate. He awoke from his slumber and toddled down from his cave only to be imprisoned by the nearby villagers and called a ghastly beast of legend, which frankly sounds like a really toxic situation that he should remove himself from. but Piku is a helpful sort, so he agrees to go about fixing the village's bridges and doing other useful tasks to win them over. For a guy who doesn't have any hands, he's surprisingly handy. Piku Niku is a vibrant and charming puzzle game which will reward you with a fat stack of Gamerscore if you're able to riddle out its various challenges. And you can always take a quick glance at a guide if you get stuck. You won't tell anyone, promise.
Hellblade is another powerful depiction of mental illness, this time portrayed as a stunning adventure through 8th century Orkney. Playing as a Pict named Senua, you'll have to battle your way through the darkness in a quest to save your lover. What we would call psychosis, Senua can only understand as a family curse which plagued her mother with voices and hallucinations just as it now plagues her. It's an epic mythological tale with a deeply human focus that also just happens to offer up a bountiful supply of Gamerscore. Most of the achievements come just from playing through the story, and none are difficulty specific, so you can go through the whole thing on easy if you just want a bit of story. With a similarly epic looking sequel on the way, there's still plenty of time to catch up on the story so far.
For 90s kids who spend their Saturday mornings watching cartoons, the remastered versions of Day of the Tentacle and Full Throttle are like having their fondest memories scooped out, polished up, and then turned into hilarious point-and-click adventures. Which also actually sounds like the premise for a Tim Schafer game, come to mention it. Both games look absolutely stunning in their newest iterations, each frame brimming with odd visual gags and goofy details. Full Throttle sees you trying to clear your motorcycle gang's name after being accused of murder, while Day of the Tentacle is about going back in time to prevent an evil purple tentacle from taking over the world. Mark Hamill voices a character named Adrian Ripburger in one. The bad guy has a friendly green tentacle brother in the other. It's all really good stuff. And you'll be able to rack up some G's while you're giggling, with both games clocking in at just a few hours.
Animatronics are proper creepy, right? Like, you cannot disagree with that opinion. It doesn't matter what sort of cuddly animal you dress them up as, there is something about their dead eyes and stiff, stilted movements that makes it abundantly clear they would destroy you and everything you've ever cared about if they ever got the chance. Well, tonight, they've got that chance. Playing as a security guard stranded in a pizza place that has been overrun with murderous robot animals, you'll have to keep your wits about you if you want to see the sun rise over this fuzzy hell hole. But the good news is that those who can handle their horror will find Five Nights at Freddy's to be a relatively easy way to rack up some achievements, with almost the full score unlocking just by making it right to the end. But if you've got any handy tips on this one to get me through the long spooky nights, make sure you let us know down in the comments.
Finally, if you love diving back into some of yesteryear's greatest games but want to resurface with an armful of achievements to show for your efforts, Rare Replay is the way to go. Bundling together 30 classic titles to celebrate Rare's 3 decades developing excellent, hilarious, often extremely weird games, Rare Replay is stacked with great titles. You can travel back to the golden age of cartoon platformers with Banjo and his good friend Kazooie, or take a slightly rougher route through Conker's Bad Fur Day. Then there are sci-fi thrillers of Perfect Dark Zero, the radical stylings of the Battletoads, and the tranquil vibes of Viva Pinata to enjoy. Best of all, you'll snag a cheeky 15G achievement every time you boot up one of these classic titles, with a whopping 4000G to be earned overall. This trip down memory lane is paved with pure 24-karat Gamerscore. Mwah!
So there we have it. That is a wrap on our Gamerscore guide, and if you're a Game Pass subscriber, I actually don't know why you're still waiting here watching this part, because you, my friend, have got some achievements to go unlock. But if you have hung around, feel free to leave any of your own score boosting tips in the comments, and remember to leave a like if we've helped you get a leg up on your gaming rivals. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Bye-bye!